What's up, y'all? So Shannon Sharpe is calling out Russell Wilson. Let's check this clip out. Then I'm gonna come back with my comments.
Russell Wilson says he opened doors for black quarterbacks. So what role did Doug Williams play?
Yeah.
The first African-American quarterback to actually get to win the Super Bowl and won the MVP. So what about Shaq Harris?
Mm-hmm.
What about Joe Gilliam?
Mm-hmm.
So what did Marlon Briscoe do?
Right.
Shaq Harris. So what about Steve McNair? They opened no doors. Donovan McNabb, Michael Vick. So they opened no doors. It was you.
I think you know what, he is a part of it. He is a part of it, especially in the modern day era of the game of football. You know, you got to think, we got people in the chat. Some people, we have a young generation.
Hold on, Joe. Let me. I don't want to cut you off. For me to be able to go to back-to-back Super Bowls and win one of them, I think I opened up a lot of doors.
You have to.
He said, Where, hold on. He said a part of. That's not what he said. That's what you said. Let's take him. No. I don't want you to add anything. I don't want you to take anything out. Yeah. Let's take him at what he said.
Yes, sir.
Oh, when I talk Nightcap, I created this, Ocho. Hey, you ain't got no part of this, Ocho. I did this with Nightcap. Huh?
I get what you're saying. I mean,
so
he could have said we. He could have said we in that case as far as the team that he was a part of.
I'm just trying to help you out. So what role did Doug Williams play? What role did that play?
I think more so for Russell's sake, he was speaking on behalf of the modern day era, younger kids, younger generation, the generation that probably won't know about the Doug Williams or the other individuals that the Steve McNairs and the other quarterbacks that you named that were black that have won. The kids in today's era might not recognize or know about them. So in a sense, I think Russell Wilson would be speaking on behalf of his era and the era of younger generation kids that are playing right now, as far as the doors that he opened from the quarterback position.
See, that's the problem with society right now, especially these young.
Right.
Just because you don't know it doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Right.
Just because people don't know about Doug Williams or Shaq Harris or Marlon Briscoe or Jefferson Street Joe, Shaq Harris,
right?
Steve McNair, Randall Cunningham. That doesn't mean they didn't exist.
And everybody you just named, think about this. Everybody you just named, if you were to ask a kid in high school right now, ask them about those names, they probably wouldn't know. They probably wouldn't know because they don't know the history of the game and how far back it goes. But to be able to name some of the players like you just did, it wouldn't resonate with them. For those that will read this article, that Russell Wilson, they will understand and know who Russell Wilson is because it's a little bit more relatable to the younger generation, the generation that's playing right now, and the generation that will come after. So I understand what he's saying, but you are right. You are right. You know, you have to get credit where credit is due for those that paved the way before you came and did the same thing you did based on what you're talking about. But I really think he's addressing those of the younger generation today that have no idea who the Randall Cunninghams were, the Steve McNairs. You know,
I forgot about they were great. Ocho, what are we thinking about? We forgot Warren Moon.
Oh, I forgot about Warren. Yeah, you're right.
Who still throws one of the prettiest deep balls ever.
Yeah.
Actually, matter of fact, I went to the Pro Bowl with Warren Moon also, which y'all think I mentioned him. Ocho, it was Doug Williams. It was Doug getting to and winning the Super Bowl that changed a lot. Like, okay, they can do it. They can process information fast. They can play the quarterback on their position.
Yeah.
They don't have to be mobile. Doug Williams was a prototypical drop back quarterback. So was Shaq Harris. Now, Marlon Briscoe run around. He was for Denver Broncos. He ran around, and a lot of others. Randall Cunningham legs. Warren was a drop back passer. We forgot about Dante Culpepper.
I forgot about Pep.
McNair. Most black quarterbacks were mobile, and they were thought of as mobile. There are a lot of guys that probably could have, but how many guys that played quarterback got moved to running back, wide receiver, DB?
Still to this day, they still try to do it. Lamar coming out into the draft. Why don't you come out here and run the 40 and run some
Antoine Randall?
The
wide receiver from Tampa,
from Indiana.
Yeah, Randall went to Indiana, but there's a wide receiver I think that ended up switched positions. Cordell Stewart, Stu B.
Yeah, Stu.
Vince Young. So what about Vince Young? Rookie of the year. That's all I'm saying, Ocho. Look, I don't mind giving people credit.
Right.
But we got to stop thinking like, well, I didn't know that. Just because you don't know something doesn't mean it didn't happen. But and we do a lot of that with history, Ocho. Well, I didn't know Michael Jackson sold that many records. I didn't know Aretha Franklin was this good. I didn't know. Just because you don't know it doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Yeah, we also got to stay within the context of what he was talking about. He did talk about winning Super Bowls. So Doug Williams won a Super Bowl.
and was Super Bowl MVP, and was the first round draft pick.
Right.
So what's he saying again?
Who
was the second man to go to the moon? Only people remember Neil Armstrong. Who was the second man to break the 4-minute mile? They only remember Roger Bannister.
Yeah.
So who's the first man to run a sub 700 meters? They're only going to remember Usain Bolt. Who's the first man to go 9.6? So unless somebody goes sub 9.5, it's not going to matter.
Right.
Ocho, you know how this thing works.
Yeah. It's always been that way. Yeah, most definitely.
That's what the receivers want to do, Ocho. They want to be the first to get that 2K. Because it don't matter. You could have 10 guys. OJ, even though EG has the record, 2105.
Yeah.
People go back to OJ. Because OJ was the first. They thought no one could do it. Not in a 14-game season.
Right.
2,000?
Yeah. That's a lot of running there, boy. That's a lot of running.
So I just don't understand what he was hoping to accomplish by saying what he said. He opened doors. Huh? No, it was the guys that came before you that had success that opened doors for you. It was the Randall Cunninghams. It was the Michael Vicks. It was the Steve McNairs. It was the Dante Culpeppers, the Donovan McNabbs. It was, we just talked about Doug. I know Doug very well. Doug went to an HBCU, went to Grambling State, so I know Doug very well. Talked to him. Shaq Harris was with me. Shaq Harris, Rams. He was with me in Baltimore. Marlon Briscoe was in Denver. Jefferson Street Joe. They opened the door for you. It was them. Yeah.
Obviously it was not a video, but an interview about how he feels about opening some of the doors based on what he's accomplished and what he's done as a quarterback. I think he could have been a little bit more in depth, went in a little bit more depth about it, about those that, open the doors for him as well. He just didn't get into all of that, but I kind of see where he's going. And for me, Russell, forget the football player. For me, as an individual, he's an inspiration. For one, as a father, as a family man. Seeing some of the things that he does away from the game of football are very inspiring, and I'm not even ashamed to do it. I'm one that picks up from everybody in the way they move, in the way they operate away from the game of football, because I can always be better in many different facets of my life. And I can always pick up from little things that others do. And Russell is one of those that I do find inspiring in other ways where I can improve myself as well.
Oh, I opened the door. Well, let me ask you a question. Well, who opened the door for you? How you got your in the house? Somebody had to open the door for you. Russ, you've had an unbelievable career thus far, and I believe you'll continue, and I hope you're the best. I hope you can get back to what you were in Seattle for Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
But bro, you got to stop this. You ain't open no doors because the door was open before you walked in the door that somebody left open for you.
Hey, what's up, y'all? So that was Shannon Sharpe on the Nightcap, and he called out Steven Wilson for saying that he opened doors for black quarterbacks. And the truth is that there's so many people and so many legends, black brothers, that actually opened a door for him. And Russell Wilson is taking the credit that he's the one who opened the doors for all the black athletes when it comes to quarterbacks. And that's actually wrong. And he's not doing too good right now because he's playing bad. And of course, he has a family with Sierra. And I think that ever since he got together with Sierra, he actually took a major L. And his career has seen a downslope from there. And maybe it's the Jezebel spirit in Sierra. I don't know. Russell Simmons is not the same player, but he's also aging. He's not the same person he used to be. He's older. He's getting older every year. So that may be a reason. I also know that he has had some surgeries on his hand and on his fingers. So that's actually also slowing him down. And I agree with Shannon Sharpe because Russell Simmons is definitely not the one who opened the doors for all black quarterbacks. But I will say this, I didn't see Russell Wilson's full comment. So I don't know for sure if he actually said this or if they're just paraphrasing. And Russell Wilson, he definitely not going to forget Michael Vick. And he definitely not going to say that he actually is taking credit for Michael Vick because Michael Vick was before Russell Wilson's time. So I actually want to know what y'all think about this. Make sure to like this video, subscribe, watch next video. So, y'all.